latest on Hurricane Florence, which is maintaining intensity this morning in the Atlantic Ocean. 29.6 north, 70.8 west by our estimates, 140 miles an hour, 943 millibars. As far as we're aware, recon planes are in there right now getting pretty similar readings than what we're putting it at right now. These are wind fields, and it's a stage 6 on the CDPS. Still, a catastrophe awaits any land areas that are underneath the center of this storm. Still, the storm could weaken a little before striking land, and that would probably mean that the storm would be stalling. Additional rain threats would then be occurring. 476 miles from Cape Hatteras now, 495 for Morehead City, 527 for Wilmington. If you were watching last night, you'll see those miles have ticked down quite a lot since then. Hurricane warning for the same area, South Sante River to Duck. The only difference to this is tropical storm warning now for Duck to the North Carolina-Virginia border. The storm surge watches and warnings are unchanged from last night, and they're on the screen. Over the next few days, we expect the storm to approach. Could still have some time for strengthening in the next 24 hours before the storm reaches the land areas, and the GFS still wants it to stall just off the coast, and the National Hurricane Center is pretty much on board with that by now, calling for a landfall later on, possibly even into South Carolina, and weakening would ensue before the storm reaches land, and that wouldn't really help the rain threat, which could reach 35 inches in some isolated locations. Of course, rainfall amounts of 2 feet are likely in many areas of North Carolina and possibly into South Carolina if that track continues to shift west. You got to keep watching if you're still in South Carolina. It could be a very close one indeed for there too. Temperatures 28 or 29 degrees Celsius all the way up to landfall. Those are good conditions. Here's the wind field. You can see Thursday moving into land there into Friday. And you can see still a hurricane status, just about moving inland along the coast there on Friday, and it's a pretty messy picture that the GFS paints, but by the end of Saturday it does weaken very quickly and dissipates completely, and the remnants of Florence end up moving off towards the northeast eventually, probably going to be delivering more rain early next week to those areas affected by the remnants of Gordon. Tropical storm force winds, the chances are here, 99% in Wilmington, it may as well be 100, 93 on Myrtle Beach, 87 at Cape Hatteras, 72 at Charleston, and down to 38 now in Norfolk, Virginia. These are the latest models. You can see how the storm's been doing intensity-wise, and a lot of the models do predict a little bit of weakening, and especially more quickly when it nears land, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the storm will be weakened. No signs of that yet, I have to say. Wind shear is going to remain low until halfway through the 13th tomorrow. Sea surface temperatures, as said, are high, and you can see how the tracks have changed. That westward motion just before landfall, and the way the land area is situated, the storm could be grazing the coast for quite a while and weakening that way, whilst the strongest of the winds remain off the coast, hopefully. That would be a best case scenario at this point, but that would still deliver a lot of rain. Well, let's stop the speculation. This is what the storm looks like right now, and you can see how it's looking. The eye is looking pretty good. Its eye wall is there. Apparently there's an eye wall replacement cycle earlier this morning, according to microwave imagery. Latest recon indications show that that may be complete now, but at the minute the eye still a little bit lopsided here and there, but this is a storm to take very seriously on the East Coast. Evacuations are there for a reason. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. And you can view Force 13's live feed at any time. It's now into its 5th day of service. youtube.com/Force13/live.